I feel like teacher was being hella extra. That's what I think. Colorado student has literally been suspended for having a toy gun with him, I guess, during a virtual class that he was having. Ed's got the story.
Yep.
Speak on it, bruh.
Yeah, so it is exactly the way it sounds. A Colorado student, a black student, was suspended for playing with a toy gun on a virtual call. So let me just kind of read this really quickly. Danielle Elliott was at work last month in Colorado Springs when her 12-year-old son's vice principal called with alarming news. A police officer was on the way to her house, all because her son had played with a toy gun during his virtual art class.
Mm-hmm.
So Elliott said she was terrified, especially considering her son is black. I never thought you can't play with a Nerf gun in your own home because somebody may perceive it as a threat and call the police on you, Elliott said. Elliott's son Isaiah was later suspended for 5 days and now has a record with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office and a mark on his school disciplinary paperwork saying that he brought a facsimile of a firearm to school, even though he was in his own home doing a virtual class. Yeah, the gun was obviously a toy painted black and green with Zombie Hunter on the side.
Boom.
I like to point out another thing here in this article. She also questioned why the school would call the police before notifying her and her husband. Elliott said that the vice principal said that her son's safety was the school's top priority, but Elliott argued that calling the police actually put Isaiah's life at risk, noting that he is the same age as Tamar Rice, who was shot and killed in 2014 by police in Cleveland while holding a BB gun.
Yep. It's very true. So, and the thing is it's a crazy story. And actually before we keep going into it, I need to find the actual gun, because I want people to actually see what the gun looked like before anything as well, because I mean it's a Nerf gun, for crying out loud. It's a Nerf gun.
It's virtual class.
Right.
So you're at home. So technically you're not at school, technically.
Yeah.
If we're being accurate, he's not really at school. He's in class, but he's not at school. So, I mean, I can understand, like, if he's playing around with something in his room and it's disrupting class. I mean, obviously, you get disciplined or something like that. You just kind of, like, have the teacher call your parents. But it'd be different if he was actually at school. It'd be different. One, if he was actually at school. Two, if this thing wasn't, I've seen the picture, if the thing wasn't like half lime green.
Right.
With an orange tip at the end. I believe it has an orange tip at the end. Yes. Yeah. Lime green with an orange tip at the end. Lime green
with an orange tip at the end. That clearly shows that it's fake. Just so you know.
That shows that it's fake, one. Two, every freaking like Nerf gun has a damn orange tip at the end. That like just automatically just tells you, oh, this thing is fake.
Yeah.
And now this kid has a record, and he's been suspended for 5 days.
Suspended for 5 days, and now he has a mark on his permanent record right now.
Yeah.
So this is... I feel like teacher was being hella extra. That's what I think. I think he or she was being extremely extra.
Yeah.
For no reason at all.
Like, oh no, it wasn't the teacher; it was the vice principal.
The vice principal saw it.
Vice principal called the teacher saw it. The vice principal called the parents.
Right, but the teacher saw it and sent it to the vice principal. You see what I'm saying? So it was the teacher first. The teacher reacted to it and said, "Oh, that's not cool," and then sent it to the vice principal. Then I'm just trying to get the breakdown of the series of events. But then the vice principal contacted the police. Then the police contacted the parents. The vice principal did not contact the parents first. They contacted the police first. Then the police contacted the parents. And that's ridiculous. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for that series of events. There's no reason for that series of that breakdown at all whatsoever. They should have just let it be. They should have just did their own personal investigation to see what was really going on and be done with it. Now, I wish I've seen that video. I wish there was footage of that video so that we can all see it for ourselves. Because, I mean, there's one thing of him waving the gun around and maybe pointing it at the screen and everything. That's one thing. But if he literally was just doing this and putting it down somewhere else, that's another thing. You see what I'm saying? And, of course, if you see it and you look at the picture, the gun is fake. It's a toy gun.
It's so fake. It even has
a fake gun.
Like a warning on the side. I wish you could download.
See what I'm saying?
It says before using, read owner's manual. Like it's clearly fake.
It's clearly a fake Nerf gun. What is the only thing that I could see happening is if he was showing it and saying like, pew pew or something crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? Or like, I'm going to get you, suck. I don't know. Any of those things. He could have said, if he was saying something while holding the gun, then I can understand. But he wasn't doing that. He's a kid. Just like every other kid. A lot of kids have Nerf guns. A lot of boys, a lot of kids have Nerf guns. That's it.
Caden had a bunch of them.
Yeah. There's no reason for that. Hold on. My computer's straight up tripping, so we can't see you right now, but I'm gonna read this comment really quick. M. Samuel said, I heard about this story. The thing that gets me is the school, said their footage showed Isaiah pointing the gun at the computer screen. But when the father viewed the footage, it didn't show that. They only showed him moving it from one side to the other. So that's the thing.
Exactly what you said.
See what I'm saying? That it went from one side to the other. It went like this. Boom. Like it was like he was moving it. Like he was just trying to place it in from one spot and put it somewhere else. He wasn't pointing the gun at the screen or anything of that sort. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, I wish we could see the footage for ourselves because the story is just insane. It's a crazy story, and that kind of stuff should never happen. This kid should not be suspended. This kid should not have had cops coming into his house, you know what I'm saying, scaring him and making him fear for his life at 12 years old.
5 days.
And suspended for 5 days. That's ridiculous, y'all.
I've been suspended before.
Yeah.
The longest I'd ever been suspended for was like 2 days. He got suspended for 5 days.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's like, you might as well just kick me out.
5th? Yeah.
Kick me out. Like,
Facts.
what's the point? Just kick me out. Just like,
you know what?
Look, I'm basically, I don't go here no more anyways. Just kick me out. Because I mean, it's basically, it's a week of school.
Yeah.
Like, it's
yeah.
that, yeah. That's just, and I think I saw somebody else in it say, why were the police called before you called the parents?
Yep.
Parents should always be the first phone call.
I couldn't agree more.
Always first phone call.
I couldn't agree more, man. I couldn't agree more. There is no reason for the parents not to be called first, notified first, asking them, hey, we just saw something. We just saw this footage that we'd like to call to your attention. It's obviously violates some sort of guidelines or rules or whatever, school policy of some sort. We have zero tolerance on any of this type of things, but we wanted to contact you guys before we contact the police. Then it's like, okay, let's get in there, show me the video so we can understand what the heck is going on so that we know what's going down. And then we can assess from there. But they didn't do that. They went completely backwards. They decided, well, let's call the authorities real quick because this kid's being aggressive. What?
Yeah.
It's stupid. But like I said, I wish we could see the footage. I would love to see the actual footage of this class, of this moment, so that we can all assess it for ourselves, because all we're getting is hearsay. We're getting the father's side of the story, and we're getting the school's side of the story. Now, you never know what the principal or the teacher did see. Maybe there really is a moment he pointed the gun at the screen. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's all hearsay right now. So, like I said, I would love to see what actually is the truth. What the footage shows, because the footage is going to be the truth of it all. Real talk.
Like you said, the crazy part is like, because obviously Caden is virtual. in virtual class right now.
Mm-hmm.
We can literally, at the end of the night, we can literally log in the back on the back end, and we can go see everything he does. There's also a place where they have their oh my god, they have virtual class meetings with the entire class. We can literally go and see that virtual meeting. It's about 2 hours long. 2 hours long. But like we can literally click it and we can watch the whole thing. I'm sure they have to have something like that. Why do they not have something like that?
I mean, I'm assuming that they do.
They don't?
I'm assuming
or maybe they took it down.
I'm assuming that they do. You know what I'm saying? But for moments like these, so that they can keep an eye on things. But at the same time, like, I mean, I'm thinking that the kid didn't do anything wrong. The parents don't think that he did anything wrong. He's in his bedroom. He's at home. He's not in a classroom with a toy gun in a classroom, pointing the gun in real life, in person to anyone. He's at home. First person that should have been contacted was his parents. First and foremost. And I understand there are kids out here that have done some crazy and extremely dangerous and violent things out there. Yep. But this is a Zoom call. This is a Zoom virtual learning classroom. This was a toy in his own home, in his own crib. He literally was in his bedroom. His bedroom, I'm sure, is filled with all kinds of different toys. Everything from toy knives to like those fake hunter knife type things to bow and arrow, like suction cup bow and arrow type things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure he's got a whole bunch of toys in his room. It's normal. That gun does not look real to me at all. If that gun was painted black fully,
yeah,
I can understand that. But it's a toy gun, guys.
Wait, what is that? Yeah.
It's a toy gun, I think that they should have contacted the parents first. They should have contacted the parents first and foremost before they started to get the local authorities involved.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.